Thang 11 Nam 1965. Quoc Chien Thai Viet Nam Buoc Sang Mo Trang Moi. Tan Coats Hun Va Dam Mao Hun. Nuk Mai Kong Con Kai Dong Vi Tro Ko Van. Hang Chuk Non Lin Chien Do Da Duoc Dua Toi Min Nam Viet Nam. Tai Lao Nam Gok. Joy Tuong Lin My Tin Rang Ho Da Tim Ra Tu Vuki Toi Thuong De Bep Chien Tran Du Kich. Du La Chien Thuat, Truck Thang Van. Su Don Ki Bin Kong Van So One Chin Thuk Ra Doi. Lan Do Tien Trong Lich Su Chien Tran. Nung Con Nagua Chien Duoc Thay the Bang Nung Ko May Bay A One Hui. Mang Biat Dan, Su Jia Tu Then. Chung Ko the De Hang Tram Lin Vu Trang De Du Zong Bat Ku Non Nui He Khu Rung Now. Kai Trong Vi Phut, Kong Can Duong Bo, Kong Ko Ran Joy Tien Tuyen Ro Rang. Bao Troi, Chin La Diem Shuat Fat, Tuong Lin My Vo Kung Tu Tin Vao Su Chen Lech Wa Luk Ne. Ho Nong Long Muon Tu Niem Tu Hoc Tui Moi Mine Len Mo K Tu Bang Zong Bang Teet. Va Ho Da Chan Muk Tiu, Vung Soun Win Trung Fan De Suong Mu Va Him Tro. Sang Nge 14 Thang 11 Nam 1965. Mo Nge Duong Mu Yen A. Dot Nien, 16 Chiak Truck Thang Hui Zay Toak Bao Troi Yen Tin Kua Vung Tain Win. Tren Mei Bei La Trung Ta Hal Mor Kung 450 Lin Kua Tiu Don 1. Trung Don 7 Ki Bin Kong Van. Muk Tiu Kua Ho, Bai Dap X-Ray. Mo Quang Ko Tran Rong Lon Nam Sao Trong Thung Lung Ia Drang. Ho Tien Thang Den Khu Vuch Ngay Doi Chan Koi Nui Chu Pong Kong Lo. Noi Nung Bai Mat Dam Mao Dang Cho Doi. Ten Geo 48 Phut Sang. Nung Chiak Boot Quan Su Do Tien Kua Lin My Nhe Koi Truck Thang. Chom Zong Lop Ko Ko Coats Tai Ia Drang. Trung Ta Hal Mor La Noi Do Tien Dat Chan Zong Bai Dap. Ong Ra Hu Len Cho Kap Doi Toa Ra Thiat Lap Doi Hin Fong Nu. Kong Jian Zun Quan Yen Tin Den Gai Noi. Mo Su Tin Lang Bat Thuong Jua Rung Jia. Hon Ton Kong Ko Mo Bong Dang Kua Quan Dik. Kai Nong Niet Doi Bat Do Nung She Kong Ki. Niet Du Y Troi Len Toi 38 Du Si Kien Mo Hoi Uo Dam Nung Bo Quan Phuk Sun. Nung Noi Lin Tre Kua Hal Mor Tan Ra Doi Hin. Non Te Dat San Tren Ko Sung M16. Ho Tien Tung Buok Chom Rai Vao Ko Tran Ram Rap. Voi Wa Luk Yem Tro Hung How Tu Tren Kong. Nung Lin Ki Bin Kong Van Tran Tre Tu Tin. Ho Gi Rang Min Dang Buok Vao Mo Quoc Di San. Kong Mo I Trong So Ho Nyan Ra Su Gai Him Dang Kan K. Ho Kong He Biat Rang. Thuk Chat Chin Ho Mwala Nung Con Moi. Vi Tram Met Cash Du. Nam Lan Quat Ngay Tren Nung Suan Dok Cheo Leo Kua Koi Nui Chu Pong Bautrum Lay Bai Dap. Batiu Don Bo Bin Thien Chien Thuok Trung Don 66 Kua Quan Doi Nhan Dan Viet Nam Da Bai Mat Han Quan Va Jiang San Mo Mi Luoi Kong Lo. Doi Su Kai Hoi Tai Tin Kua Thuong Ton Win Huan. Quan Gi Fong Kien Nhan Nam Cho. Ho Kong No Sung Voi Va. I am Lang Nu Nung Bong Ma. Tong Kong Ko Hun 2.000 Noi Lin Bak Viet Dang and Min Doi Tan La Day Dak. Ho Gai Trang Hon Hao. Wa Min Lam Mo Voi Rung Thing Nuk Dok. An Mat Kua Nung Noi Lin Ku Ho Koa Chat Vao Tung Buok Di Choyan Kua Lin Mai. Ho Da San Sang Cho Mo Tran Dan Fu Do Coats Liat. Thuong Ton Win Hu and Quan Sat Chien Trong Qua Ong Nam. Ong Biat Wa Luke My Rat Man. Nung Ong Ko Mo Chien Thuat De Kak Che Suk Man Du. Ku Li Nge Kang Bai Tu Hep. Lin My Teep Tuk Lan Sao Val Bei Phuk Kich Ma Kong Mei Mei Gi Go Vei Kai Chet Dang Cho Doi Min Phia Truok. Val Kong Ki Kang Nu De Dan. Kai Kon Vi Phut Nua. Thung Lung Yen Bin Ne Sabien Ton Mo Lo Mo Dam Mao Nyat Trong Gi Don Do Quoc Chien. 12 Geo 15 Phut Trua. Fat Sung Do Tien Vang Len Zay Toak Su Tin Lang. Tran Chien Kong Ko Man Dao Do. No Bung No Ngay Lap Tuk Nu Mo Non Nui Lua. Hang tram lin bak Viet tu trong lop gai trang ram rapo at Zun Phong. Tieng sung ak 47 chat chua wa lan tieng M16 dao ton mo ban gao hong chet chok. Quan mai lap tuk bai choang vang. Luke luong kua ho bai chia cat du doi boy suck ep qua lon tu new hong. Trong su hun lon. Mo trung doi 29 noi du trung we herik kai hoi da mai mi tri kich nung bong den thot and thot hin. Ho tien qua sao vao rung va lap tuk roi vao bay. Ho bai cat dut hon ton koi Luke luong chin. Lin bak Viet tran len tu moi fia. Dao ton mo vong vei cape kin chet chok. Kai hoi quan gi fong da du ton kong con moi vao noi wa Luke phao bin mai kong the von toi. Trong vong vi chuk phut do tien kua tran dan. Herik trung dan guk na. Tam noi lin mai tu tran ngay lap tup. Nung noi song sot hoang lon lui lai. Ko kum ton mo vong tron fong tu tuyet vong. Ho phi nam rap zong nen dat ban tu. Ko gang bam tru mong man trong con bao dan tui diet. Cash du kong xa. Tai tram kai hoi tam thoi. Trung ta hal mor nyan ra tin the him nagio. Mo fan Luke luong kua ong da bai ko lap hon ton. Doi quan ki bin kong van hung man dang bai zela. Ho dang doi mat voi gai ko bai zoa so hon ton ngay trong nga do tien thuk chien. Trung doi bai ko lap I. Da tro ton biu tuong cho su kots liet tot kung kua thung lung tu then ia drang. Tai sao Luke luong kong quan va phao bin kong lo kua mai lai tro nen vo dung vao Luke ne. Boi vi noi doi bom zong thung lung ram rap ne. Ho chak chan se geek chet chin nung noi lin kua min. Kao tra loi nam o bo ok chien thuat shuat chung kua thuong ton win huan. Ong da ra mo men len lich su. Tro ton kim kai nam cho quan gi fong. Nam that lung dik ma dan. Lin bak Viet duok len phi ap sat quan mai oku li kuk gon. Kai tu 10 den 30 met. Quang cash sin tu ne kien moi loi wa Luke bom phao hang nong kua mai hon ton bai vo hu wa. They rushed in for hand-to-hand combat, using bayonets and grenades in tight, confined spaces. The elephant grass was head-high. No one knew where the enemy was until they came face-to-face with each other just a few steps away. State-of-the-art technology, radar, and thermal sensors, all bowed down before this cunning and strategic jungle warfare. The Americans were truly disillusioned. They faced fleeting ghosts shifting in and out of the dense camouflage. A true battle of survival in the flesh. The massive disparity in firepower had been completely leveled out. Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore bitterly realized his modern army was being dragged into a type of warfare they had never been trained for. The harsh sun beamed down through black smoke. Sweat, blood, and mud merged together on their exhausted faces. There was no right or wrong. No frontline boundaries, only the instinct to survive and the ultimate brutality of war. Landing Zone X-ray had now become a giant meat grinder, mercilessly crushing the lives of soldiers on both sides. The morning of November 15th, the second day of the battle, the American defensive perimeter was on the verge of collapsing under the suffocating pressure of the liberation forces. In some corners of the trenches, soldiers from both sides threw themselves into bare-handed brawls. In a moment of desperation, as the encirclement was about to be completely breached, the American forward air controller had to transmit the code that drained away all hope. Broken Arrow. This code signified that an American combat unit was being overrun and was on the verge of total destruction. Every available combat aircraft in the skies of South Vietnam was ordered to fly immediately to Ia Drang to drop support bombs. The sky quickly darkened with fighter jets. The steel fortresses began their dive bombs. Napalm canisters burning fiercely at 2.000 degrees Celsius were dropped right along the American defensive perimeter, devastating every living thing in their path. At times, bombs mistakenly fell onto American positions. The stench of burning flesh. The air was scorched. That frantic and brutal firepower ultimately created an impassable wall of fire. and it forced the North Vietnamese forces to temporarily step back to preserve their strength. The clearing of X-ray turned into a blackened, scorched wasteland, reeking heavily of the stench of death. November 17, the horrific battle at Landing Zone X-ray finally came to a close. Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore and the 1st Battalion withdrew. The survivors carried haunting memories that would last a lifetime. However, the Valley of Death had not claimed enough blood. The 2nd Battalion of the 7th Cavalry was ordered to march on foot toward another landing zone named Albany. A few miles away, the American troop formation was extremely exhausted. Having to weave through dense jungle, their column became stretched out, loose, and entirely off guard. They had no idea that elite reserve units of the 66th Regiment Liberation Army were waiting for them. A lethal trap was set at the closest possible range. The hunter had once again become the prey. At exactly 1 p.m., a flawless ambush commenced. The jungle seemed to explode. North Vietnamese troops fiercely attacked the flank of the formation, completely slicing the American forces into shattered remnants. Everything instantly devolved into a bloodthirsty chaos. American soldiers were tightly encircled within the thick brush, with no way out. There was no defensive line. They could not call for artillery support because the distance between the two sides was measured in inches. They fired back blindly into the darkness. Man after man collapsed under the deadly crossfire. In just a few mere hours of that bloody ambush, 155 American soldiers were killed on the spot. It was one of the darkest and bloodiest days for the U.S. military. The Ia Drang Valley had truly become a giant graveyard, swallowing whole the illusions of an easy war. On November 18, the gunfire finally fell silent in the Ia Drang Valley. The desolate battlefield was scattered with the personal relics of young soldiers from both sides of the front line. The intense tropical sun baked dry the bloodstains smeared across the reddish elephant grass. The battle ended, leaving behind an exorbitantly costly balance sheet paid in blood. 234 American airmobile cavalrymen were killed. Hundreds of others suffered permanent disabilities, bearing physical and psychological wounds that would never heal. On the side of the Liberation Army, under the destructive power of thousands of tons of bombs and napalm, casualties were also immense. The Americans estimated that over 1,000 North Vietnamese soldiers were killed in action, though the true number remains forever resting beneath the ancient jungle canopies of the vast valley. When the gunsmoke cleared, both sides claimed themselves the victor. The U.S. military proved that the airmobile tactic could drop troops directly into the heart of enemy formations. Meanwhile, the People's Army of Vietnam proved that close quarters, hand-to-hand tactics could completely neutralize massive bomb and artillery superiority. The Battle of Ia Drang became a bloody laboratory for new military doctrines that would shape the next decade. In Saigon, General William Westmoreland believed firepower was the key. He instituted the search and destroy strategy, confident that he could use an industrial-scale volume of bombs and ammunition to completely crush the enemy's will. But on the other side of the battlefield, Uncle Ho's soldiers had also found the antidote to confront the largest war machine in the world. The Battle of Ia Drang taught both adversaries a lesson written in blood. Neither side could easily subdue the other. The United States realized that this would not be a military walk in the park as they had mistakenly believed. And the Liberation Army understood that to defeat the world's #1 superpower, they would have to pay an extremely heavy price. That brutal war would drag on for another agonizing 10 years, sweeping away millions of lives from an entire generation. Those fortunate enough to survive and return all carried a piece of their souls that remained forever buried in the Central Highlands. The screams of comrades calling for their mothers, the deafening roar of helicopter rotor blades tearing through their ears, would continue to haunt them in every sleep, like an eternal nightmare from which they could never wake. Meanwhile, thousands of families across Vietnam quietly set up memorial altars gazing toward the south. Those unknown soldiers merged forever into the motherland, becoming one with the grass and trees. Decades have passed, and nature has gradually faded away the crisscrossing scars of bombs and bullets. The yellowed elephant grass has grown back densely, concealing the bomb craters and rusting relics beneath the earth. The massive Chu Pong Massif still stands imposing there, silently witnessing the fragility and decay of human life. Yet deep beneath that red basalt soil, the memory of those 3 bloody days in November 1965 still beats with an agonizing rhythm. Ia Drang, the genesis of a historical tragedy, and the most sorrowful elegy of the 20th century.